Bonjour à tous. Nous recevons de nouveau Dimitri Stankovic, notre collègue de la délégation de Belgrade. Dimitri, tu es en ce moment en train de négocier avec l'administration au nom du personnel que tu représentes la nouvelle réglementation relative aux agents locaux. Est-ce que tu peux nous dire rapidement sur quoi portent ces négociations?
Bonjour Kim. Yes, of course, I will briefly tell you. We are negotiating, actually renegotiating after 27 years, framework rules for local agents and also rules governing the functioning of the medical insurance and provident fund schemes. We have already had 5 rounds of negotiations, very intensive, within 1 month. We had 2 informal meetings, and now we are waiting for the new draft of the text that will be discussed at the meeting on 9th November. So that will be the end of the administrative negotiations. So we may agree then. If we disagree, then we may continue process of negotiation at higher level, technical level, and even political level at the end. The idea is to have the new rules in place in March next year, so we will see. Hopefully.
So, what is at stake now?
So, as I said, we are negotiating 3 sets of rules. It's a completely new legal framework, I would say. In the past, we had local legislation and framework rules and specific conditions of employment for each and every delegation. In the future, we will continue, of course, to have a local legislation, which is the basis of legislative framework. But instead of, and we will have revised, hopefully improved framework rules, but instead of specific conditions of employment, we will have something which is called National Law Reference Guide, based on national legislation.
As long as it exists?
It will exist, yes, it will exist. Local legislation will continue to exist, so it will be updated regularly. The thing is also that each member of staff, each local agent, will individually decide whether to sign the new contract, which will be based on the new framework, or to stay with the old rules, which will inevitably result in a situation that you have 2 different sets of rules within the same legislation, within the same delegation, which will make life of heads of administration much more difficult, inevitably.
So if you're a newcomer, a new local agent, you will have the possibility to choose among 2 different sets of rules?
Sorry, I was not clear on that. It's only for the old members of staff. They will have the chance to choose within 3 months.
If they want the new rules?
If they want the new, or to stay with the old.
Okay.
The newcomers will have to live with the new set of rules. So
okay.
That's how the system will work. As I said, this is a good thing that there will be option to choose. It's also, the basis continues to be local legislation. But what we, on our side, on trade union side, want to improve, there are several things. We want to also, because we are now negotiating a general, I would say a shell. We are not negotiating details. Details will come with implementing decisions. We want to negotiate that as well. We also want that problems of reclassification are solved. We have colleagues who are stuck in lower category and doing work at a higher level. We want new framework rules to extend and to cover some policies which are not in place. For the medical insurance scheme, we want to see what to do with the surplus. There is enormous surplus there.
How to be better covered, maybe?
How to be better covered, how to extend the number of therapies, the number of, to increase ceilings, and also the most important, what to do with the retirement, because what we have now, until now we didn't have any coverage after retirement. Recently we have 1 year, now the idea is to have 1 year, perhaps 2 or 3 years, depending on the years of service. We want to see coverage for life.
Because now you fall under the national system, if existing.
Exactly. It must be said that both medical and scheme and provident fund are complementary. So we and the Commission and the EAS, they contribute to local schemes, but they are quite often insufficient or inadequate. So once you're retired, you have practically no coverage. You have local coverage or a local system which does not work. So we want that commission scheme continues to be implemented, medical scheme for life once you're retired. Also on the provident fund side, we see the possibility to increase contributions, but we want to see how this will be carried out in practice, because it's a question also of how it's calculated. And for both schemes, we want that joint committees are really involved in management of the schemes, because it's also our money. So we think that the committees should decide on the policies which will be put in place.
And do you have the feeling that the administration is ready to listen to you?
Well, the administration is listening to us. As I said, we will have the new draft next week, so we will see what they listened to, they turned into the text, into the practice, and on the basis of that we will see whether we will finalize our negotiations or not.
Or not, and what will be the next step. Dimitrie, thank you very much for coming. Je comprends donc que nous te reverrons très bientôt pour nous dire un petit peu si ces négociations ont réussi, si nous allons plus loin, et ce qu'il restera à faire pour améliorer la situation de nos collègues agents locaux dans les 140 délégations de l'Union européenne. À bientôt, Dimitrie.
Merci.